We are getting some details about the cabinet meeting. This is what sources are telling us, that the defense minister briefed the cabinet on Operation Sindoor, and he spoke about what we were just discussing, the free hand that was given to the defense forces. He also praised Prime Minister's vision and leadership. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh said situation on the border is being monitored by our forces. He also praised the forces for commendable job. The Prime Minister appreciated ministers for not commenting on the issue for 10 to 15 days ahead of India's action. And this is exactly what we were just discussing, Colonel Agarwal, isn't it? The discreet manner in which it happened. Not letting anybody get a whiff of what is to come. The action that we are witnessing now. And of course, everybody was getting impatient. That was the mood of the nation when you wanted the government to answer some questions. An all-party meeting also happened right after the attack. Yes. Okay, before I take your response, we have Pragya joining us with details of what we just broke. So during the cabinet meeting, the Raksha Mantri praised Prime Minister's vision and leadership, and of course, the credit goes to the forces. That's what he spoke about. Most importantly, the Prime Minister, Pragya, be given to understand, appreciated the ministers for not commenting on the issue.
Absolutely, Swati, and much of the decorum was maintained in the meeting. In fact, there was the cabinet issues and agendas that were discussed first, and after that, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh was the first one, being the defense minister, to brief the cabinet colleagues on Operation Sindoor. And in fact, he had praised defense forces, and not just that, he has also praised Prime Minister for his vision and for the leadership. Remember, the political will is very important, and this is exactly the sentiment of defense minister when he said that free will was given to the defense forces. And after that, Prime Minister also made a very short statement where he praised defense forces for achieving such a successful target of the terror hideouts. And in fact, Prime Minister said this is very successful one. And in fact, there was some kind of satisfaction on the faces of the Prime Minister and on the faces of all the cabinet colleagues as well. In fact, on a lighter note, Prime Minister also appreciated all the cabinet colleagues for not making any statement regarding the issue of Pahalgam and also on anything on Pakistan. Because, if someone says something, then it becomes very important that statement is then, reverberated in another country, neighboring country, Pakistan. So he also appreciated the fact that everyone, had that restraint. And in fact, this also helped the government to keep the strategy very close to the chest and to ensure that everything goes fine according to the strategy. So this is what we have gathered from our sources. This is what transpired in today's cabinet. But overall, mood was very. What I gathered from the sources was the mood was very something of a very pride of our you are very proud of our defense forces.
I think you can just sum up by saying Jai Hind and Jai Hind ki Sena. I think that's the mood, isn't it, Colonel Agarwal, in the entire country. Whenever you want your armed forces to act, they will never let you down. Proven once again.
Absolutely. So there are three things that we need to see. First is the political intent. The political intent was made very clear from the speech you just mentioned on 23rd April. And thereafter, the political intent drove what has to happen. The second issue was that the military and the political leadership were in total sync. Right from the first Cabinet Committee on Security to the meeting with the armed forces chiefs to individual meetings of Prime Minister with the Air Chief, Army Chief, Naval Chief, the CDS, etc. So there was an absolute sync between the political and the military leadership. And the third point that I want to say about this political leadership and intent is, we failed to see this when Parliament was attacked in 2001 December. We did not take any direct kinetic action when 26/11 happened. So, and even in Uri and Pathankot, we carried out surgical strikes just to avenge those particular strikes or those terrorist things that had happened. So Pakistan had always been under this illusion for last 25 years or more that they can get away with it with limited or little damage to them. This time, the intent and the execution has clearly shown that, that stage is over and it is done and dusted. Now, there is no way that you can mess with India ever again. You can never dream of another Pahalgam. Even if you think about it, it will be taken out.
You will not be taken off the hook is the message.
Absolutely.
And you will have to pay for it. And that payback has already begun. Let's also listen to the excerpts once again of the press briefing that took place.
The attack was clearly driven by the objective of undermining the normalcy returning to Jammu and Kashmir. In particular, it was designed to impact the mainstay of the economy, tourism, with a record 23 million tourists visiting the valley last year. The manner of the attack was also driven by an objective of provoking communal discord, both in Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of the nation. It is to the credit of the government and the people of India that these designs were foiled. A group calling itself the Resistance Front has claimed responsibility for the attack. This group is a front for the UN-proscribed Pakistani terrorist group Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Brigadier Gupta continues to be with us. Normalcy was returning to Kashmir. The terrorists and of course their akas, as is said in Hindi, or their handlers in Pakistan were not able to digest that fact. Apart from that, the hidden agenda also was to wedge a divide, a communal divide between the communities here in India. That has failed. But that has exposed, the tactics that Pakistan continues to rely on.
Swati, definitely. Pakistan has proved that it's a failed state. It's not only a failed state politically, it's a failed state bereft of ideas. Now, today's India's response has sent three messages very clearly to the global community, and especially to India's enemies. That India today is now ready to respond to any challenge to its sovereignty or security using comprehensive national power. That is point one. Secondly, the Indian armed forces have absorbed and integrated technology, and today they can be called as high-tech, highly trained forces. And thirdly, the very concept of triad, where three services have been used for this response, points towards readiness of India of joint warfare and ultimately leading to the idea of integrated theater commands. Now, these three messages, I think the global world would have noted, and our enemies in any case would be shuddering because they have seen what India's comprehensive national power means. As far as your point is concerned, I fully agree with you. Pakistan has never been happy. They do not want peace in Kashmir. They do not want prosperity in Kashmir. They know